You know those personal projects we all have, the ones we tinker with? Well, what happens when you decide to push one to its absolute logical, maybe even illogical conclusion? When you try to build something so ambitious, it's both thrilling and, honestly, a little bit terrifying.
This quote right here, this is the whole story in a nutshell. It's about that journey chasing this perfect cloud-like ideal with a home server, and in the process coming right up to the edge of wiping out every single thing you've built.
And that really is the question here, isn't it? It's all about ambition, it's about control, and it's about that razor-thin line between creating this perfect automated system and having the power to completely erase it with a single misplaced command.
So let's start with the dream, because this isn't just about having a server humming away in a closet. No, this is about elevating it, turning it into something that acts and feels like a professional cloud platform, with all the elegance and automation that comes with it.
I mean, the motivation is so appealing, right? The idea of getting rid of all that manual, messy work. You define your entire setup in code, so the system can just build itself perfectly every single time. It's the ultimate fantasy of control and predictability.
Now, at the very heart of this dream is this concept called the monorepo. You can think of it as the technical core, kind of the brain of the whole operation. It's designed to be the one and only source of truth for everything.
Think of it like a master blueprint for a house. Every single detail, from the foundation to the wiring to the color of the paint on the walls, it's all in one place. That's the monorepo for your server. It's got every configuration, all the logic. One place to see every change that's ever been made.
And this is where we find the central tension of this whole idea. Because on one hand, this monorepo gives you incredible clarity. You can reproduce your system perfectly anytime. But on the other hand, it creates this massive risk. It's a single point of failure, where one tiny mistake could bring the whole thing crashing down.
And this comment just makes that risk feel so real, so personal. It's not some abstract technical challenge anymore, it's a real fear. The very tool that gives you this godlike control also hands you a big red button that could delete everything you've poured hours into.
So that risk, it leads us straight into the complicated reality of automation. When you push your code, the system just does its thing. And that is an incredible, thrilling feeling, but it comes with a terrifying flip side.
I mean, think about it. You type a few lines of code, you hit enter, and you just watch as your entire infrastructure configures itself. It's clean, it's modern, it feels like you've unlocked some kind of superpower.
And that's the moment. That's the pivot where the dream collides with a pretty harsh reality. Because the very thing that makes automation so powerful, its speed, its efficiency, is exactly what makes it so incredibly dangerous.
So here's the crucial thing to understand about automation. It has no safety net. It can't read your mind. It does exactly what you tell it to do, not what you meant for it to do. You know, that little bit of friction, like a pop-up box that says, "Are you sure?" Sometimes that's the only thing that saves you from a total disaster. And in this world, that friction is gone.
What's really fascinating here is that not everyone sees this powerful tool in the same way. The reactions to this kind of project usually fall into three very different camps, and they tell us a lot about our own relationships with technology. First up, you've got the futurists. They look at this and they say, yes, this is it. They totally embrace the idea of infrastructure as pure code. For them, this isn't risky, it's just the logical, disciplined, and correct way to manage systems. It's the future.
Then you've got the pragmatists. They're definitely intrigued. They see the power, they see the elegance, but they're cautious. They want the benefits, for sure, but they also want some guardrails, some safety nets. They don't want the first lesson to be accidentally deleting their entire setup.
And finally, you have the skeptics. They kind of take a step back and question the whole thing from the start. They ask, is all this complexity really worth it, especially for a personal project? Are you actually solving a problem, or are you just creating a brand new, much more complicated one?
And all of this brings us to the bigger picture. Because this whole project, it's not just a technical challenge. It actually forces us to think about a pretty deep philosophical question about what we really want from our tech.
Seriously, think about it for a second. What do you value more? The ability to manually log in and fix something right now, that immediate, hands-on control? Or do you prefer a system that guarantees perfect consistency day after day, even if it means you can't just jump in and tweak things?
It's really a choice between two different worlds. One where your system is something you can touch and feel and tinker with, and another where your system operates on a higher level, governed by a set of rules that you have to trust will work flawlessly.
And maybe that's the real insight here. When you adopt a tool this powerful, it doesn't just reconfigure your servers. It kind of reconfigures your brain. It forces a level of discipline and foresight that fundamentally changes how you approach building and maintaining things.
So in the end, this whole experiment with a home server, it's like a mirror. It reflects a much bigger question. This isn't really about code or servers at all. It's about trust. In a world that's becoming more and more automated, what are you willing to trust more? Your own two hands or the perfect, unforgiving logic of the systems you create?